Good day.
Good morning.
All right, we're back after a while.
Yeah.
Been wondering how we want to enter back into this. There was a period of time where I was gone in the woods at a summer camp, and it's just been strange times. Strange times.
A lot of transformations, a lot of new situations arising, and lots of emotions with all of that for sure.
And through it all, we are still thinking about this YouTube channel, thinking about all of you who have been tuning in and wanting to continue to share. It means a lot when you all give us feedback. I really appreciate that.
Really.
And so, yeah, just coming in with something today that's been feeling fresh, just like noticing themes that come up, lessons that we learn through our disagreements and our conflicts. And so just one that came up yesterday, really simple, but there's like huge implications for these little simple things that happen. I'm making a smoothie in the morning. Lavina had some cucumber juice that was a gift from a dear friend, and I used some of it without asking in the smoothie. And later on, Lavina came down and I said, "Oh, hey, I used some of your cucumber juice." And Lavina's initial reaction was to feel upset about it, or annoyed, or frustrated. And that angered me because a story came up of like, I give you so much of all my stuff, I'm actually really angry that you would even feel that. And so right there is something to notice. And then Lavina immediately said, "Well, I don't want you to feel angry." And that's another thing that we'll talk about in this video. And then we'll talk about just like how we resolved and came back to a place of hugging and loving each other.
Yeah. Yeah, so something that we've been recognizing or reading about and learning about and working with is that emotions, they need to run their course. Emotions, they have a cycle and they need to come to completion, or else it can cause some kind of backup or this feeling of like even more tension than if the emotion were to have just played itself out in its full expression from the start. And something that I like to think about it is like, so emotion, we've probably talked about this, is like energy in motion. And it has this element of water connected to it. Emotions are fluid, they have that energy of water. And so imagine a river flowing, current just flowing, and then there's a dam plugged into that stream, into that current. So now there's water that's just like hitting up against this dam, hitting this resistance and creating a pressure, creating tension, which, if we were to apply that to emotions, it's like things can be building up. So if there ever ends up being either a crack or something that happens with the dam, whoosh, this flood of like this tidal wave of water or emotion can come through. So with all of that, we've really been wanting to support one another in just allowing our emotions to run their course rather than trying to stop them. And that's something that I'm working with because, like Harry mentioned, me saying, I don't want you to feel upset. Like, can we not feel upset right now? And that's not helpful. That's not validating his experience. That's actually saying like, your experience isn't valid. Can we just not do this right now? So that doesn't feel good, and that's not conducive to that the flow of the emotion, the flow of the current to continue, allowing the energy to just keep moving.
And I think a big part of this too is like notions of wrong and right. Like, maybe I was wrong for taking the cucumber juice without asking, and then I feel like you're wrong for feeling that it's wrong, and it's really like that, the wrong and right, that can just keep going and going and going, and it hasn't served us. Rather, what has served us is like trying to come from a place of understanding. Like, I want to understand why you're feeling what you're feeling, because I love you, and also you're a human being, and I'm not just going to dismiss your experience. And so, yeah, that experience for us was coming to a place of like, okay, I do understand why it could be upsetting that I drank the cucumber juice, you came to a place where I can understand why it's upsetting given all that you have shared with me.
Right.
And so first arriving in that place of mutual understanding, but we arrive there because we allow each other to feel what we're feeling.
Right. Right. And that's part of nonviolent communication. When we're having these kinds of conversations, it's always much more effective when we're speaking from I and just expressing our experience rather than saying, you did this and it was wrong. It's like, there is actually no wrong. It's all about the feeling. So when this happened, I felt this. You know, when you did this, I felt this. You didn't make me feel this, but this is just the way it is. You know, it's not bad. It's not wrong. It's not that it shouldn't be felt. It's just the way it is. And from that place, you know, when we actually allow ourselves to be exactly where we are, then it's like we actually have the foundation of being like, okay, here I am at point A. I realize that I'd like to get to point B, but I can't get to point B without first fully grounding where I am at point A. You know, then I can pave the path and actually find that direction, find the trajectory to get from where I am to where I would like to be, which is in that state of love or peace, contentment, bliss, you know, whatever it is.
This is the paradox. This is one of the great paradoxes of life on Earth and being a human, is that change comes about as a result of accepting things as they are, not wanting them to be different.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, and it's
I really want to feel that.
It's
Please.
really difficult. Change comes about as a result of accepting things as they are, not wanting them to be different. And so, of course, Lavina doesn't want me to be upset. I want Lavina to feel good. I want to feel good. And maybe I'm not feeling good. The more that I strive and grasp to feel good, the less I'm feeling good.
Right.
Let me just be.
Right.
And then a big part of being is feeling. Okay, what am I feeling? There's emotions and words for emotions, and then there's sensations. And the sensations actually represent the feelings. So am I heavy? Am I slow? Am I tired? Am I cold? Am I hot? Like, yeah, there's a whole world of vocabulary, and also just like sitting with what is being felt. And I'm still working on this one. I'm like, why does that work? Like, why does feeling my sensations actually help me to find relief? And that's what happened with us, is like, we're standing in the kitchen and Lavina had the strength to be like, come on, let's come back to a good place. And so we both just like felt what we're feeling, realized like, oh, okay, you know, there is like some tightness, there's like some heaviness from that anger I was feeling, like, yeah, I can just like, okay, soften. And yeah, it did arrive in resolution. It's not always that quick. Sometimes it takes hours, but that's part of this work, is like, hey, let's see if we can just be more present and arrive at point B in a smoother process.
Right. And this is a development. This is a learned tool of navigation. And for me, I was taught this. It's called the felt sense. And when we tune into our body's awareness, it actually instantly brings us into the present moment, because our mind has the ability to shoot to the past, which can bring us into feeling resentment, depression, guilt, frustration, you know, wishing that it wasn't the way it is. Or our mind can shoot to the future, bringing up feelings of fear or anxiety, apprehension, and emotions that are more excitable, like this fear of what is to come. So all of these energies, these emotions, it's like, how are they actually being experienced? You know, why is it that fear doesn't feel good? Why is it that frustration doesn't feel good? If it's an emotion, what is an emotion? And really beginning to look at that and actually uncover what it is that's being experienced in the body, and then working from that place, because that's where we actually reclaim our power to work with these energies and to allow them to move through their process. And when we welcome in the power of the breath, our life force energy, we have the power to release those blockages and to move those feelings of discomfort that are, you know, frozen somewhere in the body.
Breathe and remember. All right, y'all. That's it for today.
Peace.